Hey Saggy, so I'm going to be doing your energy check-in for November. I'm going to be using this guidebook here, the Everyday Enchanted Tarot by Poppy Palin. I really, really enjoy the artwork. A big box and a nice big paperback book. And I just really appreciate this deck of cards. So we're going to use it to get your messages for November. You have birthdays coming up pretty soon. We're still in Scorpio season, but it's getting closer. Full moon in Taurus tonight. Today is November the 4th, 2025. It is 4:28 p.m. Central Standard Texas time, if you care, but time is fluid. This is going to be a general energy check-in reading for the month of November. What is this going to be looking like? The overall energies for Sagittarius, please. I believe we have Mercury going retrograde in Sagittarius right now, and another cool fun fact, I was doing some research. I was thinking just to myself the other day about black holes. And then, you know how it is like you think it, and now AI can read your mind, and next thing you know, you're getting articles about it. Um, and apparently, they found a pretty, pretty convincing role of a black hole in Sagittarius. And it kind of got me thinking Sagittarius time travelers, because you guys travel. And so you're the explorers of the zodiac signs. It just kind of made me wonder if you guys are actually astral traveling more often. Let me know if you are in the comments down below. Let me know if you're having any kind of, you know, could be telepathy, communications from other dimensions, spiritual activations. Like you feel like you're jumping timelines. If you're feeling anything like that, just let me know. I'm just curious. That's something that's kind of got me going. Tarot messages for Sagittarius. What's going on? What do we need to know for our best and highest good? Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus, North Node. Don't forget, this is for entertainment purposes only. And don't forget to subscribe and like the channel. Hmm. I don't know why I'm hearing a song. This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine, let it shine, let it shine, let it shine. And I'm seeing you like Buzz Lightyear to infinity and beyond. And I'm just seeing you taking this torch and like a centaur and just flying through the astrological spheres with this bright torch, Sag. Beautiful vision to see. All right. Sagittarius, you're pulling earth energy. You've got the Knight of Coins. That is Taurus energy. That's the full moon in Taurus. So basically, this is just doing the daily routine stuff. He's cleaning the car here and stuff like that. So minding your own business, working hard, tending to the details, to the small things in November. Might be doing some home repairs, car repairs, just anything like that. That's just the daily routines. It looks like your month is pretty busy with that. What's going on, Sag? Nothing major. Nine of Blades. It's a little bit of a concern here. What are you concerned about, Sag? It says 10:10 on the clock. Feels like the final countdown. 10 tens is the end of a cycle, but this is the Nine of Blades, the Nine of Swords, which is a dark night of the soul. There also are some pills being spilled here, so some of you could be taking sleeping pills or having trouble sleeping. If you have pets, they are feeling your emotions. They're feeling empathetic towards you. Some of you guys could have a medical condition because this person here has a medical necklace on. You know how you have the bracelets that you could wear that's got the red cross on it so that you know you have a medical condition. This person here has got one on their neck, purple hair, rose tattoos, all the signs and synchronicities might mean something to you guys, okay? So make sure you're taking good care of your health, getting plenty of rest, because that's the crossing the energies, and that's not really helping you. You know, it's either helping you or hindering you. And these little foxes that spoil the vine, it's not helping. What's in the foundation of this reading? The Eight of Cups. You're going to have to turn your back on that situation. Um, it looks messy. Something needs to be cleaned up. Now, this is daily routines, chores, cleaning houses. You might need to get in there those dishes. Some of you guys might be getting so distracted by this dark night of the soul that it makes you stop tending to the daily things that you need to. You're just walking away from a pile of dirty dishes and leaving them there with your head hung low, like something's really just taken the wind out from underneath your wings. In November, Sag, what is going on? You're walking away from something that's been a dark night of the soul. It's a daily thing. What's in the headspace? Can be from a job, too. Five of Blades. Ooh, it's like Hell's Kitchen. Pissy, in the bad moods, short and snappy, trying to control everybody and everything, wanting it my way and the highway, and pointing that finger and taking that taking that knife and cutting people with it, cutting people off, cutting off bad fruit. There's also a hornet here. Sometimes life stings. So you might need to cut somebody's little stinger off if they're messing with you, because it looks to me like somebody's messing with you or something. And it's got you where you're pretty ticked off about it. You could be coming off with a sharp tongue, say some really harsh things in November, which Sagittarius, I'm a Sagittarius rising, and I know married to Sagittarius, my mother's a Sagittarius. Ooh, my mother can say some things that gets under my skin so bad sometimes. But it's okay. I forgive her. What happened in the recent past? Whoa. Uh-oh. The World, the Three of Blades, and the Ten of Coins. Somebody took a big financial loss, or there was a breakup here in a family dynamic. Ten of Coins is legacy, public image, career, retirement. Maybe those retirement plans have been foiled a little bit. You were supposed to retire. Look how these ancestors are knitting in the heavenlies, helping you get prepared for it. But then something happens. Look at there's these purple cards are that I love the color purple, but in this deck they're awful. You're getting awful cards about air energy. You could be dealing with the air sign. Yeah, Sagittarius. And Aquarius, Gemini, or Libra. An ending here occurred with one. Or such matters. Yeah. You know, I'm seeing somebody say, I sure miss the days we had family reunions, and I sure miss the days we used to get together for Christmas, and I sure miss the days we get together for Thanksgiving, and it just doesn't look like that's happening this year. It doesn't look like it's a joyous time of year for some reason. Maybe you're not able to participate, maybe you're not able to travel, maybe you've had to miss some important family obligations, and it's very painful and hurtful to have to do that, but you had to for a reason, because time was up. You ran out of time on something. Final notice, what it sounds like. What's the incoming energies for November? Ah, Temperance, you're pulling your energy. Yeah, you might not love it. You might have to eat some crow or look at that little old Debbie Downer staring at you because things didn't turn out the way that you wanted them to in the past, and somebody's hurt. Could be holding a little bit of a grudge, but you're tempering it out fine. You'll be all right. You're like, it is what it is. I think other people around you might be more upset than you are, perhaps. Because this lady here is like, oh, hi, I'm fine. Want some juice? He's like, yeah, sure, I'll have some juice. And she goes like, really, I don't want some juice. See, look at her face. So not everybody's happy here in the future about the decisions you had to make in the past. But you're tempering it out. You're like, this and that are true. It is what it is. Just trying to stay emotionally balanced around what looks like a grumpy person here. What's the situation? The Ten of Cups. More family in dynamic here, Sagittarius. That's the happy, happy card. Okay, this has got to do with your happiness, your wish fulfillments, your family. This has to do with your family, Sagittarius. And alchemizing, like, well, because that's the Ten of Pentacles in the past, which would mean, and with the World card and the Three of Swords, you wanted to travel, but you couldn't travel, probably because of finances, possibly, or a health concern. The reason why you couldn't travel. Not an easy decision to make, very difficult, but the situation is it was a good decision that you made, because ultimately it's going to work out better for your happiness in the month of November that you made this difficult choice. How are you being seen, Sagittarius? Queen of Wands. Oh, you are praised and adored. People love you, Sagittarius. That's a Leo. That is Leo energy with the kitty cats there on um her dress. She's leading the orchestra. You're in charge, Sagittarius. All eyes are on you. You're the leader here. And you're going to come out looking fine. It doesn't look like it looks like you're still fired up and successful and inspiring and creative, and you're happy right where you are, you know? There's those fireworks in the sky, and I did a reading for someone earlier today. It had to have been either Scorpio or Taurus. And there was a separation, but it was a separation that was caused from the truth being told. And we all know that you're the philosopher and you're all about telling the truth. So, truth be told, Hell's Kitchen, somebody's got to be in charge. If you're bringing in produce that's got rotten produce, the knives are dull, you're letting pests and varmints into the kitchen, then the chef's gonna. You guys watch that show, Hell's Kitchen? That guy can go off on you in a heartbeat and cut you like, not literally, but with his tongue. But yeah, Sad, you look great. You look beautiful. You look stunning. You look fine. You look unmoved. You still look inspired and fired up. And so, what's the hope or fear here? Hoping or are we fearing? What are we doing? Five of Coins. I think some of you guys are just trying to hold back. Finances are not the same as they used to be, because in the past you had the Ten of Pentacles And now you're just barely getting 5 pentacles. So times are changing. You could have taken a dramatic uh, loss in finances. You could have taken um, a budget cut. You know, you could have been furloughed. Um, and I really think it's a challenge because you wouldn't want to leave anybody out in the cold because you're very caring, but it feels like your resources are limited and you've had to say no to some things that you normally would have said yes to in the past. And as you do this, you shine. It's because it's the right thing to do. Wisdom. It's the right thing to do. You're focusing on emotional satisfaction instead of materialistic satisfaction. But it does show me that there's some challenges there of feeling like a little lonely or abandoned, or if you can't travel or you can't go out and have date nights with your friends or anything like that. And it could feel a little lonely sometimes, so I could see how that would be a challenge. It's not fun whenever you're financially struggling, if you are. But hey, she's still smiling in this picture. She's still gambling. And she's still having a couple beers. She looks happy. She's got a little dog. Little dog here. Emotional support animals are a significant here. Music is significant here. Doing what you can with what you have. So what is the outcome of your reading in November? 4 of Cups. Some of you guys are over it and bored. You're like, ugh. Somebody's bored. You're just bored. And it doesn't look like that's going to change much. Because some things change and you got to allow... Oh, what's the 7 of Swords? You're being protected from a thief. Whether you realize it or not. A joy of thief. Or a literal thief. Because we have this purple card here again. Remember the purple we had? This is a thief. He's stealing all your shit. Stealing your laptop. Breaking in your house. The crow is just spreading lies. The fox is sneaky. And these little kids are horrified that this person would do this to you. But that's why this is happening. Because you're being protected from a very sneaky situation. What is the sneaky situation? You're over it. A lie? A Page of Cups. Oh, that's somebody that says I love you, but then you always have to... They come in with these apologies. This feels like an emotional loss. Childlike creative energy, playfulness, even a child that says I love you, all kinds of family dynamics here with children. Children could be getting withheld from each other. And then we have the 7 of Wands, which is protests and blocks. It's not a good time to travel right now. Uh, we're in a government shutdown. People are starting to steal food and riot out of grocery stores. The airports, they're half staffed, so they don't have enough people to fulfill flights, so it's not a good time to travel in November. And I love you and I'm sorry is going to go a long way, and I'm just there's just boundaries here that are outside of your control that does not make it conducive for you at this time to travel. So they're recommending that you just stay home and focus on what you can control right here, which is in your home, and stay inspired, listen to music, have a couple beers if you want, a glass of wine, but there's a lot of spilt tears over here. And it could end up worse. You don't understand what you're being protected from. What if you went out and you traveled and somebody stole your wallet? One lady told me, when a client of mine said that they were traveling through New Mexico and their phones got hacked. somehow through a Cash App or something like that. And they were on their way to vacation and their entire bank account was drained. And that happened this year. What if you're being protected from something like that? Let us not forget how recent COVID was not long ago when we were all quarantined to our homes and we weren't even allowed to get together for weddings and funerals and Christmas celebrations. Remember that? So yeah, Sag, I mean, a little bit of a bland, like boring, boring. Oh gosh, I gotta miss out on another event or this or that or whatever. It's fine. It's for your own good. It's for your own protection. So send out I love you, send out the love notes, get back to normalizing making homemade crafts and sending those out again as gifts. Christmas time is indicated here, so I know some of you guys are thinking about Christmas. Try not to overstretch yourself with materialistic things and try to focus more on emotional satisfaction if you can. All right, that's what I have for you for the month of November. We'll check in again in a few weeks to see if the energy is shifting any whatsoever. Um, Full moon in Taurus is this evening, tomorrow night as well. Lots of emphasis on financial matters, and it's a time to release our grip on materialism in this full moon and embrace compassion and empathy for others. All right, that's what November looks like for you folks. I wish you all the luck in the world with this reading. And yes, Mercury being in retrograde would it hinder your ability to travel. So, okay, that makes sense now too. All right, this is what I have for you. I wish it was better, but hey, it's not that bad. Just look at the positive, right?